Welcome to Chatty Sparkly Runners. Thanks for all those people that follow us. And welcome to any new people that
any new people that are tuning in.
That are joining us and have joined us via YouTube or Facebook. So it's great to have you. We're looking at what to do when you return from injury today.
Because last week we talked about
what to do if you have a niggle,
if you get a niggle,
or how to, and that worked really well for me, because although I didn't say it at the time, I did have a niggle.
You did, didn't you?
After
it was very topical.
Yeah, and I followed my own instructions, and it healed within those 5 days. So that was really nice. So today we're going to look at coming back from injury, and
if you've had quite a bit of time off.
Yeah, if you've had or illness.
Yeah, that's true.
And a few sort of golden rules to follow, like we did golden rules if you've got a little bit of a niggle, how to overcome that. And it's really, people, I don't think, if we said to all runners, put your hand up if you've come back from injury too quickly, 99% of runners.
We've all done it. We've all done
it. So why do you think people have done that then?
Well, I think if you...
Should we run?
Yeah, I think we can run, Colin. We're chasing a light tonight.
We are.
It's getting dark.
It's winter.
Yeah, well, I think when you've had a bit of time off, you're really enthusiastic to get going again, aren't you? And you tend to rush it a bit, probably.
Yeah, I think the other mistake that people make is they start off where they were before the injury, and so they don't.
Right. Yeah,
you've got. It's like you've got to acknowledge that you've lost fitness, and you've got to start where you are, not where you have been.
Yeah, and I think there's that frustration, isn't there? Oh, I've lost fitness, but I'm going to try and get back to exactly where I was. So I'm going to go from that point.
Yeah, and that
I can identify with that.
Yeah, the frustration, and then you're super motivated because you've had some time off and you've got all these things that you want to do, and you've been sat down whilst you've been having a bit of time off.
And also, if you're following a training plan as well, that's doubly frustrating, isn't it?
Yeah, because that's a point, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you're following a training plan, what do you do? Well, the sensible thing is, if the training plan's a good one and you're progressing, it has a progression, is I would go back at least 3 weeks.
Yeah, so the first point then is about where do you start from when you come back from injury?
Okay, so
how do you know?
Right, okay, so you've had 2 weeks off.
2 or 3 weeks?
You won't lose any fitness with 5 days off. That's why I said last week, if you have a bit of an injury, the first thing to do is take 5 days off. You won't lose any fitness in 5 days. But you lose a little bit of fitness in 2 weeks. You lose a lot of fitness in 3 weeks.
Yeah, you notice it, don't you, after 3 weeks.
After 6 weeks, you're pretty much lost quite a lot of fitness. But the good news is, if you have had 6 weeks off, that you'll gain fitness really quickly when you come back, if you do it sensibly. So the first thing is that first run back.
Okay, number one, the first run back. What do you do?
Okay. Very important.
Go out and do 3 hours on the hills.
Yeah, or come back with a fast track session. No, don't do that. So the golden rule is, and I followed it all through the running, and I've done, is injury or illness, first run back, no more than 35 minutes chatty.
Okay.
Just a tester to see how you are. I would walk for 10 minutes before I even started.
And that will be a test, won't it? That 10-minute walk will tell you.
Yes. So
if you listen to your body, you should be keying into whether you're ready or not.
I would do 20 minutes. And then after 20 minutes think, am I all right? Yeah, I'm all right. I'll go on for another 15.
Yeah.
If you're not all right, I'd stop. I'd keep my fingers crossed that the injury had gone and everything was rehabbed, and then I'd have 35 minutes.
And you would stop at 35, because I know what.
Yes, I'd never go anymore.
The temptation would be, I actually feel really good at 35 minutes. Everything's fine. I feel wonderful. I'm just going to go and do another 20. Yeah, I've done that in the past.
Occasionally, because I don't really get that. I haven't had, touch with, that many injuries, but I do have a time off. I used to have a time off, so I'd have like 3 weeks training holiday where I wouldn't run, and the first run back, I've just felt like a beginner. It was horrendous.
Yeah, but sometimes that first run back, if you've had a bit of a break, you're flying.
No, not for me.
Well, this is my experience. I've experienced that and then done too much.
No.
Okay, so first run, no more than 35 minutes.
Okay.
Listen to your body.
Right. Next day.
Right.
Day off. And that's going to be really difficult for people. But I would have a day off the next day. I would then think, right, how have I responded to that run? Is everything all right? Am I stiff?
Especially if you've been injured.
Yeah, am I stiff? Because you're going to be recovering slower. So have that day off and then come back.
Yeah.
And then the next run is the day after. If you're one of these people that trains, 4 or 5 times a week or more, the day after I'd go out and I would do at least 35 minutes. Again, I might add 10 minutes to it.
Depends on how you feel.
Yeah. And then from then, you have to be this feeling based and work on what you're doing and really from there gradually build it up. But make sure that you've gone back 3 weeks from what you would, at least 3 weeks from what you were doing before.
Okay, so you look back what you were doing 3 weeks before the injury you're talking about.
I would do no more, and the long run is the other one, because you're not going to do any hard sessions because you don't want to stress yourself.
Yeah, so that's the other point that you were going to say. Chatty, stay chatty.
Yeah, 3 weeks.
Doesn't matter if you've been doing track sessions or you've been doing a bit of breathy running. Keep it chatty.
You've got to get that base back.
Yeah.
So 2 weeks, I would say 3 weeks at least of chatty running, nothing but chatty running.
Sparkles.
If you've had an injury, I wouldn't sparkle.
Wouldn't
I'd just
sparkle.
have 3.
Okay.
There's no point. Just get yourself back. The long run. So if I would only do 3/4 of my longest run in those 3 weeks.
Okay, right.
So
what you'd built up to, you take it back to 3/4.
Yeah. So if you were doing a 2-hour long run, in that first week back, you're really pushing the boat out. If you do 90 minutes, you've got to be confident that's going to be fine. I'd probably
You might want to be a bit more conservative.
Yeah, I think it'd probably be 60. But if I say no more than 3/4 of your long run, that's a good benchmark. And then keep it, then you all the time you've got to think to yourself, how do I feel? If you come back from illness, and there's a lot of it around at the moment, and you come back and you feel drained, well, you're just going to have to go for a walk or a really slow,
don't
gentle
push
jog.
the running if you feel drained, if it's making you feel tired.
Well, listen,
listen to your body.
It can take, well, the illnesses that are going around at the moment, it can take a couple of months to get over. Flu can take, 5 or 6 weeks to get back to.
Depends on you.
But again, it's that.
So it's about you. It's about listening to your body and how you feel.
I think that was the guidelines,
and
wasn't
don't
it?
ignore fatigue.
I've been tempting to bump into you today.
I know you're pushing me into ditches again. It's that heavy leg feeling and fatigue, isn't it?
Well, if you don't want to go because you're feeling, you've got
you will. You'll lose your mojo. If your body says no, it will tell you.
Yeah, and
what about injury though? You're listening to something else there, aren't you? You're listening to that part of your body.
Yeah. I always say
knee.
Yeah, so
ankle,
if you've got,
whatever.
Yeah. I always say if you've got, say you've had a dodgy knee, or I don't know, whatever, dodgy knee, and
walk this bit.
You're fully recovered when you can't remember what knee it was.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, or you've got plantar fasciitis, you can't remember which foot it was. Chances are you're ready. You're healed, but your body does heal. So just let it. You just got to give it time to heal and have a rest.
So how far have we got then?
What now? I forgot to tell you. Blooming Garmin.
No. How far have we got with our pointers?
Oh. I'll put my Garmin on the way back.
So we talked about first run back, next run back, long run, how you progress it, staying chatty.
Yeah, stay chatty, be feeling based. Don't push, because it's not a time to push. So it's never a time to push, but even more so, it's not a time to push.
Yeah, and go back 3 weeks from where you stopped.
Yeah, well,
if you're following a training plan. Is that right? Yeah.
I'm looking at the view.
Yeah, you're not listening to me now.
No, oh, of course I don't. You do that. So yeah, you do. So you've got to ditch the training plan for 3 weeks. To get back onto the training plan is probably a good way of thinking about it. What about the other thing is, what about events?
Yeah, that's true. What
So,
if you've got 10K
so
lined up or something?
I have a golden rule, and I have a lot of golden rules.
You
it
do,
seems.
don't you? Yeah.
And one of them is if you've been in the week, you don't race at the weekend.
Yeah,
Because you don't do yourself justice anyway, because you're fighting illness. Your body has got to fight the illness. It doesn't want to be recovering from a race.
Yeah.
So, it's a no-no.
And
So,
with the best will in the world, you might say, well, I'll just go and jog round it, but you probably won't.
no. So all my youngsters if they've been in the week, they don't
race.
They don't race.
Don't race. Okay. Otherwise, you're going to set yourself back.
And
aren't you?
and the same goes really for injuries. You don't want to risk injuries. There's little things. So if you've twisted your ankle, you've got an ankle injury, then you don't want to be running on rough ground. Spend a few days on the road where the surface is flat. If you've had if your knee's been a bit twingy, don't run on the camber. So there's little tips that you can do, but
well, the other way, it might be shins that have been your problem, and
so
you need to run on soft ground.
And don't run fast downhill.
You've got to know what your body can cope with, haven't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
That's
there's a few golden rules, but it's very individual, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think
always err on the side of caution. Don't rush and don't push yourself to come back.
Yeah, and we must say that we're not professional physiotherapists, so we can't respond to, this is my injury, what do you think I should come back at? But we can give general guidelines and talk to people if they ask us questions. Is this the right thing to do? And we can answer those questions.
Yeah. So should we just show the view? Because actually,
it's
the
beautiful.
Sun's going
There's
down.
the Wenlock Edge as the sun goes down. Look at that.
Really nice.
It's not a bad place to live over there, is it? With their conservatory looking directly west.
Yeah, so don't forget to find us on YouTube and click that subscribe button.
Yeah, and press the bell icon.
I got that in.
I don't know what the bell icon does, but I'd press the bell icon. I'll have to look it up.
Or find us on Facebook or join the Facebook group as well.
Yeah, plenty.
Yeah.
We've got 1,000+ people now.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
So
And we're more than happy for people to share the videos. Well, I haven't been sharing them lately.
No,
so
you've had a bit of a rest of sharing.
Yeah, but there's this one and the one before and the one. I've got to share it more widely because it's quite valuable for people, I think.
Okay, so we shall see people next week.
Next week we might be in Liverpool.
Well, we can't promise.
No, or the week after.
We're on the move a bit, aren't we? We're in different places. It depends on the weather, though, whether we can actually film when we're there.
We're following races around the country.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is Liverpool.
So you never know where
Next
we're going to be
week
from
is
in the next couple of weeks.
Okay, brilliant.
Bye then.
Bye.